What is up? This is Lord Big Steve, and welcome to Monday Driving with Lord Big Steve. That's right. I am back playing some more GTA, and if you don't know how the series works, get out your games, plug in your consoles, turn on your controllers. We are going to play a game. You guys are going to play a game, and you're just going to listen to me talk if you have that choice. People like to just listen to me talk about stuff, and then they just play their own game. Sometimes people just like to watch footage, and some people will just listen to me in the background. It's completely up to you. It's your choice, but we're going to be playing some GTA, and this is Monday Driving with Steve. So the car I'm going to pick today is kind of a classic kind of muscle car it's like one of my favorite cars, and it's this one right here. I really like the color of this, and it sounds really cool. It's got a cool little front to it. So we're gonna drive around this thing, and I'm just gonna talk a little bit about a topic today. And the topic of choice today is my history of gaming. All of my gaming on my consoles, what I started off with, what games I've been playing. If you have suggestions for a topic, please let me know. And if you have your own history of games, just let me know what your favorite game was as a child and all that kind of good stuff. So let me start off with my first game, which was on my first system. I don't know if I mentioned this already. I might have mentioned this. I'm not completely sure, but my first system was actually the Game Boy Advance SP. And I played the crap out of the Game Boy, and it was kind of like a new thing. And we got like both colors because my brother wanted to play it too. So we got a red and a blue one, and we played a lot of them. We had like a lot of games. One of my favorite games had to be Yoshi's Island. I really loved that game. I played a lot of it. And then we, after a little bit of the Game Boy Advance SP, my dad one year bought me a game called Test Drive 5. Now, you don't know what Test Drive 5 is. Basically a racing game for your computer. It was kind of like a Windows 98 version, so it was like kind of an older version of racing. It's not like anything like GTA, but it was a lot of fun, and I played that game a lot, and that's where I kind of started to get it. I started to enjoy racing. Then my next game was my grandfather who lives in the Bronx, and he used to have a couple computers. He ended up selling them because he didn't end up being so well, so he had to get rid of them. But my grandmother ended up selling them because he's not in a good place mentally. So he's still okay. He's still very functional, but he just he kind of lost interest along with music, and it was kind of sad because computers were a huge thing to him, and he really enjoyed it. But the game I played on there was my brother and I would love visiting my grandpa, and we loved our grandpa, and he was really cool, and he had a lot of cool stories and stuff. But we especially liked his room because he had two computers. And they were like, at that time, they were like really good computers. Like they had the big screens behind them and stuff, but they were like really enjoyable computers. Like they were like, they weren't like exactly high end, but they were really functional, and we were like, they were exciting to us. So this was like when we were like 5 or 6. And I'm gonna do that a lot because I'm kind of talking a lot, but. My brother and we play a game called Midtown Madness. Now, Midtown Madness was a similar driving game. I think I'm not sure, it might be some kind of, people might know a little bit better, but Midtown Madness, I think, took place in, like, San Francisco, I think, with, like, or was it Chicago? I'm not sure where it took place, but it was kind of like, it was a really exciting game. Like, it was kind of like a driving game, just like this one. Well, this was not very specifically a driving game, but it was a driving game, and you just go everywhere, and you just run into cars, you'd get chased by cops, and it was exciting. It was fun, and that's where like I started to enjoy my driving games even more. Then I started. Let me think. I think that's when we got our GameCube. So the GameCube was kind of like our first kind of quote unquote console. So it was that was like a huge thing, because that was like, oh wow, we have something we can now play together, instead of just, because my brother and I would just play our own separate games in our Game Boy Advance, and we won't be able to play in the same world in our in Midtown Madness. There would be separate games. So that was the first kind of multiplayer game I played, was in GameCube. So that was really cool. So I actually enjoyed playing a lot with my brother. I think the very first game we played was a rental game, actually, and it was for my dad got it for us, and he played a little bit with us. It was I think it was let's go straight here. It was some kind of Star Wars game, and I really was into the Star Wars franchise. And in fact, my first PG-13 movie, when I watched when I was 11, it was like a birthday party thing, and it was the third Star Wars. Jesus, what the hell is it called? I can't remember the name of the third Star Wars. Revenge of the Sith, right? I'm gonna look this up. This is embarrassing, but that was like my first Star Wars. Was Star Wars? Star Wars 3, which is the Revenge of the. Yeah, I was right. And that was like a huge movie to me, because that was like that's where I first got into Star Wars, was from that movie. But we didn't play it a lot with the Clone Wars game. The next thing we got, though, was actually Star Wars. I think Lego Star Wars just came out, and my brother and I played. I can't even tell you. We played the crap out of that game. That was like one of the funnest games, was playing Lego Star Wars. My friend actually came over one day, and he was kind of like a really old friend. And we actually played that game until like 1 a.m. I played the crap out of the game. That was just such an amazing game. And it was just kind of like, it was one of those games where, like, I really liked this game because it was kind of like open. I mean, this isn't exactly... What the hell? Okay. That was interesting. But anyways, Lego Star Wars was kind of like an open world game. It was like the very first one where you kind of just like ran around. I mean, there was some kind of storyline to it, but you kind of had a freedom to choose what you want to do in the game. Like, you can like unlock stuff. You can go over and get different things. Is this in GTA story? I guess it is. Okay. I'm gonna get back in GTA Online as soon as I can. That was really weird. But anyways, it was kind of like the first story mode game. Okay, how do I do this? Let's go, please. Thank you. Anyways, that was like the first kind of free roam kind of game, and I really liked riding in those little stupid little vehicles you make. And I've always been a huge fan of building Legos. Like, even today, if somebody bought me a Lego, I probably would build it, because I've always loved construction. And you guys obviously know that I play a lot of Minecraft too, so that game was just a lot of fun to play. I'm saying a lot, jeez. Anyways, then my parents bought me Mario Kart Double Dash. Now, Mario Kart Double Dash was my very first Mario Kart game. And let me tell you, that game was the literal shit. Like, that was the game that everyone, like, that was kind of like the popular game. So I was like, Okay. Okay. This is great. What the hell is going on? Okay, this is bizarre. No, I want my car! What the hell? Okay. My character is completely glitched out. I have no idea what's going on. This has happened before. I actually saw like a little bit of video I made before, and this has happened before. You know what? I think I'm just gonna switch to GTA story mode because I have no idea what's going on. But I want to keep this discussion going, and I can't do it in this one. So sorry, Kart. I'll come back to you later, I guess. Anyways, so Mario Kart Double Dash, I played a lot of that game, and it was kind of like the game where it was.
This motherfucker clean.
All right, we'll take a motorcycle. Take Franklin out for a little bit of motorcycle. Let's go. Okay, we don't need music though. Okay, there we go. Anyways, so what was I gonna say? So Mario Kart was kind of the very was obviously it was like with like partners. So what you could do in that game actually, if you've never played Mario Kart Double Dash, is you can actually have two people play at the same time, and so you can have like a two-player like team on the same like vehicle, which I thought was really cool. So you work as like a dual team to get things done. Oh, there's the car. I'll take this car actually. This is the same car that I was driving before, so this will work perfectly. I think at least I think it's the same car. Shush, 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 shush. Thank you for your car. Okay, it's not the same car, but it's similar to the same car. So, it's still a muscle car. I'm trying to fix whatever the hell is going on with the game. But, so, Mario Kart was kind of the equivalent of just... It wasn't like a regular Mario Kart. Like, it wasn't like any kind of driving game I've ever played. Like, it was something completely brand new to me. And it was, like, I've never done, I mean, I've seen races, but, I mean, I've done races in Test Drive 5, but nothing like that. Like, nothing where you're, like, able to use some kind of, like, vehicles and stuff. Like, I thought that was pretty exciting. Like, I thought that was really cool. And so Mario Kart was kind of like you had like things that you can like kill people with. You had
I guess that's that dude. Fuck.
Go find a hole. You. Do I really want to keep this vehicle? Probably not. I'm gonna take the helmet off and turn the music off again. God, why is? Okay, turn the music off. But anyways, Mario Kart was kind of like, oh. That was his wallet. Anyways, Mario Kart was just like a huge game. Like, when things happened in that game was just kind of unexplainable to me at that time. Like, that stuff blew my mind. Sorry, I'm really distracted right now. A lot of stuff's happening in this game. I wasn't expecting it. But it was huge because, like, you had like all these shells and stuff. Like, I've never been like a huge Mario. Like, I played the Mario games, but I never played like. I mean, I played some Super Mario Bros, but not like a whole lot. So it was just kind of crazy.
For the day.
Incredible, dude. You should keep some of that for yourself.
Oh, I should, but why don't I? Let me see if online is working again. Maybe it'll work. I don't know. Maybe it's just completely glitched out. If this doesn't work, then I'm just gonna stick to GTA 5. Anyways, Mario Kart was a huge game. You had all these different characters. Each character had its own kind of unique trait to them. Like Mario and Luigi threw fire. Bowser threw these giant shells. Like I had the team of Bowser. It was either Bowser and Waluigi, or no, it's Waluigi and Baby Bowser. And you had Waluigi with bombs, and then Baby Bowser with these giant shells. And I love throwing those giant shells. Like that was my childhood, was throwing those shells at people. It was hysterical, because you have this like tiny thing in your hand, and you have this tiny little Baby Bowser, and you throw this thing backwards, and this giant like freaking spear comes out of nowhere, and it just completely shits on the person behind you. It was hysterical. Okay, so GTA looks like it's working again. Thank you. I appreciate it. Anyways, it was just hysterical to just throw this stupid giant thing behind you, and this person gets completely screwed over. That game, and the unfortunate part is my brother got really pissed when that would happen. He would just, I was so good at that game. I don't want to sound cocky or anything, but I was so good at that game that I would really piss him off because he'd lose every single time. And I'd purposely slow down so he could win sometimes, because having him like yell at the game like drove me crazy. If you're watching this, Michael, I'm sorry, but that was just it was just crazy. It was just hilarious stuff that happened. It was just such a great game, and it's still one of my favorite games to this day, because and I was introduced to Rainbow Road and like the Mario Kart franchise, and that was just loved that game. The rest of the games I played some like Super Mario Strikers, and like those were kind of fun, but other than that, I don't think I remember any other good games. I tried like playing Harry Potter and stuff, and then I just kind of like got bored of it. But Mario Kart, I played the crap out of. Let me see what else. So then I played and then my friend he showed me the, like, I would go to friends' houses to play Xbox, and the Xbox 360 came out, and we played, like, I started getting introduced to like first-person shooters. I think one of my first ones was like Black Ops, and I love playing my favorite Black Ops. I love playing the zombies maps. I was horrible at it, but I loved the zombies map. Like the first original one, I think it's Kindertoten. I think that was it. What it was called? It was like in the very first Black Ops. I loved playing that map. Like, it was such a good looking map, and it blew my mind because I never knew that if you turned on the power, because when I first got that game, I was always told when I was playing with other friends that, if you turn on the power, it just kind of like screws everything over. And honestly, it's like really difficult when you turn it on. It's just like, don't turn on the power. Like, okay, I'll just play without turning on the power. And then I was actually Yanni was one of the ones first people to introduce me to Black Ops and those kind of games, I think. And we play a lot of those games. And he also introduced me to Gears of War, which was another incredible, like, that was one of my, I played other games, but those were like some of my very first-person shooters. And the first-person shooter I got was when we bought the Wii. So we got a Wii, we got Wii Bowling, we got all that kind of default stuff that it comes with. We played all those games. Those were really fun. And then what we also got was a game called GoldenEye. And now we had GoldenEye for about I want to say 2 or 3 years, and then I kind of like showed. I think I met Yanni after that, and then I kind of showed him the game, and he was like, "Oh, this is kind of cool." And then we kind of played 1v1 matches on GoldenEye, and that was really fun because it was random because you had these. I've never been a huge fan of the James Bond franchise, but GoldenEye was a lot of fun. Like, that was an exciting game to play, because it was kind of like obviously my very first first-person shooter, and it was somewhat of a random game. I also ended up buying Call of Duty 3 because I didn't know because that was the only for the Wii, because that was one of the only Call of Duties available for the Wii, and so because the Wii wasn't like really meant to play any Call of Duty games, but what it was meant to play was a game called Need for Speed Carbon. Now this was I think one of my third or fourth or fifth driving games, and now this game, I never played the game for the story mode. I never played the story mode until like I decided a couple years later, like, oh, okay, I guess I'll try it. But I always would just play the game for just shooting things, or no, not shooting, just driving around. Like, I love driving in that game. And then you would just like smash into cops, and the cops would chase you, and they try to stop you, and they like if they got too close to you, you start to get more wanted, and then if you got caught, then you would like have to repound your car or whatever. And I just play those games just for the hell of it, just for, I guess we have a partner now. You just blow me up. Please don't blow me up, my friend. I'm letting you drive along next to me. Don't throw any bullets or anything. But it looks like he's gonna be fine. I think he's just riding around. So that was Test Drive 5. Oh no, Test Drive 5. So, what if I'm already forgetting the game. I forget. Need for Speed. Need for Speed was an incredible game. Played a lot of it. Good times. A lot of fun was had playing that game. No. No. Anyways, so then I was. Oh, he's dead. He did. Yeah. I then decided, and then we played. I decided to get. Oh, I hope it. Sorry, this is kind of hard to follow, but I'm just kind of rambling and I'm gonna focus on playing the game. Sometimes I find. Sometimes I find it easy to focus on a game and talk, and like I can do like both, but I'm not very good at multitasking. Like, I have trouble like focusing while also trying to do something else. This is why I can't do homework while listening to music or anything. It's just something I can't do. So this is kind of a little bit of practice for me. So I'm sorry if it's kind of like hard to follow, but I did eventually decide to get an Xbox 360, and we did end up playing Black Ops and Black Ops 2, and those were like the two main games I got. I got this extra game that was kind of like, it wasn't. I got an extra game that was kind of like a motocross racing thing that wasn't really that good. I can't remember if I got anything else. That was just about it. Oh yeah, I forgot about Halo, of course. I don't know if, when I was really young, my friend had an Xbox, and he had one of the, I think it was like Halo 2 or something, and we'd play the crap out of Halo 2. And at one point, he felt like we were having some kind of like sleepover, and he ended up falling asleep, and I just ended up playing the same level over and over again. I died like 40,000 times, but I just kept on going and trying to beat the game just by myself, and it was the funnest thing to do. I loved playing Halo. Halo was a really fun game. I really like driving like the mongooses, and those were really fun to just screw around in. I had a lot of fun playing. We used to play with Jack and Yanni. Actually, I actually bike over to Yanni's house, and we used to play a lot. We used to play a ton of obviously. We used to play a lot of Halo and stuff, and Gears of War, and all those kinds of cool games. So after a few years of kind of just playing on the Xbox, like I was always, for the longest time, I've always been a console kind of person. I also got a DS and play a lot of those games. But I eventually ended up, people were talking, like I would, obviously I knew Matt and Yanni in high school, and I knew Jack in high school as well, and they were like, they would start talking about this game called Minecraft. So I'm like, alright, I'll check it out. I'll like look up some YouTube videos, and that's where I started like getting interest in YouTube, was actually from Minecraft. Like I'd watch Minecraft players start playing these games, and it was just the most interesting. I thought it was really cool. I thought it was really interesting. And at the time, I think Matt had Minecraft, and he had like a channel going, and he had YouTube going. So I was like, all right, that's pretty cool. And I was like, oh, I wonder how you like do that. Like, I wonder how you record. Like, I think that was like, that's pretty cool. And this back in like I think 2011, 2012. And he ended up showing me his channel one day, and it was like, wow. Like, you can actually do this. Like, you can actually make videos and post them to this website, and people actually come and watch them. I thought that was really cool. So I'm like, this game sounds really interesting. Like, I wonder about, like, what's so cool about this game? Like, I want to try it out. So I end up, I think about a year later, senior year, I end up getting a laptop, like getting prepared for college, and I end up buying the game. And I sucked at it at first, obviously, because it was like completely new, and I just played it more and more and got better and better. And it was the coolest thing. I thought it was amazing. I'm like, what can be better than this? And then, so I played that for a couple years in college. You know, that was the only thing I played. Like, and I played some kind of other games. And then somebody like was talking about Steam. I'm like, what the hell is Steam? Like I want to know. Like, what is this? Like, and then I did. Obviously, I did some recordings, and then like did somewhat of a channel. I had somewhat of a channel back then, but didn't really pan out to anything like interesting or new. And then I got, like, somebody showed me Steam, which is basically a software you can get games, and you store all the games in that, like, kind of system. So I'm like, wow, that's really interesting. Like, PC gaming, that's actually pretty cool. I'm like, and then I see all these YouTubers, they have all these, like, giant, huge, like, PCs that run all these, like, games that, like, I don't even know the frame rate, but it's just insane amount of frame, like wow, like that's exciting. I hope I can do that one day. And then I end up getting a Steam account, and then I end up creating. At the time I was called One Pix Fly, so I created that. And it's like, all right, that's my normal name. It was like, all right, I'll just choose that. I really don't know what else to choose. So I'm like, okay, let's check out some games over here. And I'm like, okay, I see a few, and Jack recommended me to play Borderlands 2. I'm like, what's that kind of game? I'm interested. So at the time, CSGO was like the most popular thing. It was the most popular game at the time. And everyone was playing CSGO. I'm like, all right, I can never be that kind of good at the game. Let's try Borderlands 2. I played through the entire campaign. It was a lot of fun. I ended up recording it. And obviously I played a lot of other games like Ghost Simulator, and I got Gmod, and it was like screwing around in Gmod was fun. I thought honestly, I think that Gmod was the first game I've ever played, and I thought that was the coolest thing. So, just let me think of it. I'm gonna try to go get it. So Gmod was huge, and before I started on, like, at that time I had Steam. My roommate, my very first roommate, had a PS3, and GTA was just coming out at that time. Like, GTA 5 just was about to, like, he bought GTA 5 for his PS3, like the very first version. I'm like, wow. I'm like, I need to play this game. So I'm like, it's kind of embarrassing, but I gave him like $10. So I'm like, I can play this game a lot, right? Like, you're gonna allow me to play this? So I started playing GTA. And I absolutely loved playing GTA. And it was just some kind of weird game that I just started playing. And it was just exciting because it was kind of just a new thing. And you just drive around and you just screw around and play this game. It was actually pretty entertaining. And then I had like other games too, and then eventually he ended up like switching to another room and stuff. So he took his PS3 with him, so I never got to play GTA again. And I was like, my count was lost. I actually got to like level 50 on that, which is pretty impressive. But you know, I was like, okay, like I really like that was huge in college. Was I played GTA like crazy, like non-stop. Like, it blew my mind because it was the most incredible thing, because it was like combined all the stuff that I loved, like shooting, blowing up. Like, you can do basically anything you wanted in that game. It was kind of in this game, it's kind of like a free mode kind of game, which is like, I love this game, I want to get it. So I'm like, one day, I promise, I'm like, one day when I have a good enough process, when I have a good enough computer, I'm gonna get this game. And so eventually, I don't want to list off all the games I played on the PC, but I played a ton of different other games. Minecraft was kind of an on and off, and eventually I invested in GTA. I met RX before I got GTA. We bought the game together at the same time, and then I met Bowser on GTA, and that's how we became friends. And then from there on, I just started playing other games. Obviously, new games have been introduced. Still have my Xbox 360, still have my Wii. Don't have my GameCube or my Game Boys. But I still have my PC, and now I have an even better PC. I still have my old laptop I played on the game too, which is kind of crazy. I don't have any of the old worlds I have in Minecraft or any of these old saves, but that's basically my my gaming for right now. That's my gaming history with all this stuff. You know, learning how to do recordings, learning how to make videos, and that's basically it. So yeah, that's my gaming past. If you guys have like your own story of your own gaming past, let me know in the comments below. Tell me about it. What was your first system? What kind of systems did you have when you were growing up? What was cool back then? What surprised you back then? You know, and what surprised you back then that's like kind of like, oh, that's like natural now. But yeah, this has been Monday Driving with Lord Steve. As the sun rises on another beautiful day, I'm gonna end the episode here. I hope you enjoyed the little driving this Sabre Turbo. Next time I'll pull up another car and we'll drive around in that. So thanks for watching, guys. This is obviously going to be a weekly series on Mondays. I'm going to try to make it a weekly series, and I don't know how how people have enjoyed it, because I have not yet uploaded the first episode. As of right now, I'm recording the second episode before I have even edited the first one. So I'll upload the first one today and we'll see how it goes. But since my last GTA video got 10 views, I think it's going to go pretty well. So I hope you guys have enjoyed. Thank you for watching or listening, or just thank you for watching or listening. I hope I helped you. Hope I helped you pass the time and whatever you were doing in the background, whether that's playing a game, doing some homework, which if you're a multitasker, congratulations, I envy you. Oh God. But thank you for watching. I'm about to get blown up here. So leave a like, comment, subscribe, and you haven't already. And we'll see you guys next week for another Driving with Steve. Monday Driving with Steve. We'll see you guys later. Goodbye.